What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing? Welcome to another Mograph Hangouts, a weekly free-for-all where we do all things Mograph, video games, Houdini, Blender, and more every week about this time. So yeah, thanks for joining. I think today we're gonna do some. I was originally wanting to do some stuff. Try out the Houdini comfy UI stuff, but I don't have comfy UI installed on my computer. We may still do it, but Theory Accelerated, the makers of Axiom, just released Paradigm. And I really wanted to play around with Paradigm because it is it's pretty amazing. I don't have it installed. So I think that's what we're gonna do today. So thanks to everyone for coming and hanging out. Let's have some fun. Hopefully we are actually live. It looks like it on Instagram, on there, on YouTube, on all the things. Cool. So I need to download this, which I just did. Paradigm. Okay, these two go in my documents folder. Which one is this? 5.9? Yeah. Packages. Oh, I've got Paradigm in there. Let's throw them both in there. We'll see how this goes. I may have to restart. I'll have to restart Houdini. In a couple weeks, we start doing video game stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about it. The Bite Off, all the stuff for Bite Off, which. Bite Off 5. It's actually 5. Gets announced February 15th, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited about that. That will be that's what we'll probably spend the next month or so doing stuff for, just competing in this Bite Off game, or the competition, which will be a lot of fun. So I'm excited about that. And if anyone's up in Milwaukee, if you are planning on going to the Midwest Gaming Classic, make sure to hit me up. Oh, why didn't this show up? Oh, because it needs to be in a geometry container. Can't be. Paradigm. There we go. Paradigm solver. So they just updated the solver to add like viscosity and stuff like that, which is cool. I'm excited to try that out. All right, so this one is our source particles, source shape, source VDB, and then we can do. Let's see. Let's do a axiom. No, paradigm. Source, and then let's do a collision. Let's do we'll do a plane. Okay, and then we will throw that in there. Cool. Oh, let's turn that off. Transform, let's make it a little bit bigger. That's good. And then we need a source though. Paradigm, source shape. What's up, Juan? And this is going to be a source. This is going to be a sphere. Let's do a merge because we need to merge the two together. Throw that there. Let's see where this is. This needs to be a little bit higher. Transform. All right, let's see what this comes up with. Pretty sure we need to switch those inputs. Could be wrong. And we got a whole bunch of nothing. What is wrong? shape, source, activation. Okay, that's right. Let's go to our paradigm solver. It needs to be output, particles, simulation, blend, gravity, cool, sourcing, start frame, substeps, division, voxels, velocity, particle, shape, here did velocity, noise, force. Oh, constant, yeah. So that should be showing up. I don't know why it's not. Let's see what happens if we just pipe that one in. Does it work? It does not. Paradigm solver, source shapes, input 2. And that is, let's make that even bigger. Merge, paradigm. What am I doing wrong? I am not sure. Shape, plane, collision, source. Okay, well, let's do this then. Let's see. Let's do a sphere. Okay. We'll move this one up. And we'll do a scatter. Scatter those on, and then we'll do that. Let's see if this works. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we just needed to see this input takes source particles. So when we create a scatter out of the sphere, it's basically turning all those particles into like emitters, basically. Now, why this isn't working by itself, the shape source, that's weird to me, but that's all right. We found a way around it, so we can just go ahead and bypass that and just go ahead and delete that merge. We may need to make this even bigger. And then, like, it is crazy to me how well this is. Oh, I guess I didn't need to make it bigger. An important note, as you can see here, I am just using an RTX 5070, and this is chugging along just fine. Like, paradigm is absolutely insane, and we're looking at 400, is it 400,000 or 4 million? 4 million particles. Let's do 40 million particles. Let's see what, oh boy. Spoke too soon. Well, let's see what happens. All right. So it's still going. It's still going just fine. It's pretty crazy. That looks really good. Let's see if we can do a second one. How would I do? Oh, I would need to do a particle shape or particle source with a different viscosity. How do I do that? Source shape, tank, velocity visualize, collision visualize, field visualize. That's fun. What's up, Josh? What's up, Mark? Hey, Anthony Abbott's in the chat. What's up, buddy? How are things? We're playing around with Paradigm today. Paradigm is Theory Accelerated, the makers of Axiom. It's their new water solver, and it's pretty insane. So I don't like that I'm getting all of that, but here's what I want to do. So let's do a transform on the sphere, and then the rotate. Let's add a motion effects noise. So let's go ahead and play this, and you can see it'll rotate. It basically rotates on the X, Y, and Z based off of this noise, so that we get a little bit more jitteriness and it's not so uniform. So that looks pretty good. Let's bring back down our amount of particles, and we'll throw our motion effects over here. Just go ahead and stop that. Let's go back to 4 million. at 4 million? Yeah, I'm at 4 million. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, Paradigm is pretty freaking sweet. This don't look like cinema. I ain't doing cinema no more. Not until Maxon sponsors me to do cinema tutorials. Then I'll start maybe doing tutorials again for cinema. I mean, Houdini doesn't pay me, but I like side effects. They've got a really good community of people, you know. Winbush, did I tell you that I finished my my VR app? I was actually able to get it to work. That's pretty cool. I hit up Brandon, and Brandon was able to help me figure it out. Man, look how good that looks. See, but then we try and mesh it. Okay, so how, if you've got if we did two solvers, I'm assuming they'd mix together, right? Let's look. No, I'm not going to stream VR. Honestly, most of the stuff that I figured out, so Brandon got me in the right direction, and then I used ChatGPT to help me figure out the rest. And I was able to get it to work. It was pretty cool. ChatGPT I have found for coding isn't that great, but Cloud is actually really good for coding stuff. So for the past few weeks, or for the past week or so, I showed y'all last week, I've been working on coding out that Octane Orbix exporter, you know, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. And I was finally able to get it to where it would export things in chunks and then can remerge them back together and automatically create the correct pins and stuff like that. So it'll you can upload that Orbix and stuff. It's really cool. I'm really excited about it. It'll be great for Houdini for when you're like, you've got like one thing that's really heavy and another thing that's not so heavy, and if you want to like send it to a bunch of different computers in order, you know, if you're using Deadline or something like that, and you want to like chunk it out to a bunch of different computers and then being able to merge it all together, which is really rad. I'm super excited about it. I don't think I'm able to stream VR. I don't know. I've never tried. I don't think I will. We're gonna start the video game in like 10 days. They announced the bite off stuff in 10 days. So we're going to start doing that, which will be fun. All right, let's see if they've got documentation. What's up, Matt Zipper? How are you? Paradigm. Let's see. Simulation. Flip viscosity. Let's look at viscosity. You can think of this as an internal friction. Oh, I haven't finished it. I realized when I started doing the Mike Tyson one, like we spent a whole day or a whole live stream working on the graphics for it and stuff like that. And I realized there's going to be so much work because I'll have to do tons of like palette changes and stuff like that, and I don't really know how to do that. So I may end up going back to the original Punch-Out game and try and figure that out from there. But it's kind of on the back burner. It's as easy as I thought it was going to be. It ends up being a lot harder. You know, if I'm just like switching out some graphics and stuff like that, not having to worry about, I don't know, it'd be easier. But yeah, surface tension, that's fine. Viscosity, where is the viscosity on here? Sourcing, viscosity, let's make it super viscous. That does not look like it's doing anything. Let's do 100. Maybe the higher number is bad. do 0.1. Nope, that didn't do anything either. What's going on? Viscosity in this sense. To make simulations more and more sticky or thick, water might have close to no viscosity, honey are moderately high, and lava is a very high value. That doesn't seem to be doing anything. Viscosity 1 million. That didn't work either. Why is that? Shape, transform, inherited velocity. This one, That's fine. Wonder if the viscosity is based off of the scatter on that. Oh, viscosity particles. Velocity particles. Viscosity particles? That's fields, though. Collision. Let's click on ID. Oh, that doesn't look to do anything either. See if velocity actually does something. I don't know if it does. Doesn't look like it's doing anything. Maybe something? I don't know. Reason Orbix caches as opposed to traditional BGO cache for rendering. Yeah, you can do just for rendering. The whole reason I'm doing Orbix caches or Orbix is for getting up to the render network, and it's only for doing that right now. Right now, I was talking to Dom, one of the Houdini devs, and I was wanting to do a similar workflow to like Redshift proxies and stuff like that with Orbix, but right now the Orbix SOP is broken. So until they fix that, there's no way to do it, which is a shame. So yeah, unfortunately, but I'm just doing the Orbix caches only to get it up to the render network. You know, so if I'm wanting to send stuff to the render network and not do anything locally, I can do that. Oh. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can figure this out. Time, start frame, time scale. Cool. Particles. Particles per voxel. Particles per voxel. That's all that stuff. Sourcing. Viscosity. Viscosity should do something. Let's just see what happens if we do this. Maybe. Nope. That didn't work either. Why not? Simulation, type flip, blend, gravity. Ah. Viscosity? Let's throw that up. See what it looks like. Ah, there we go. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So that's in the simulation, not in the sourcing. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the difference is. Like simulation. Yeah, that's kind of rad. Goopy. Anthony, you should check out NPM. NPM solvers are really freaking cool in Houdini. I really like them. It's like, I don't know if y'all saw, let's see. Let me find the NPM cookie thing. So this cookies and cream thing. So like, come on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Show the animation. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so this is entirely Houdini, and it's all NPM solvers. Nah, I don't use LiquidGen. LiquidGen isn't... It's like... I don't know. With what I've found with LiquidGen and EmberGen is that you have to export them out first and then bring them into your software. This is so insane. Like the cookie smashing and mixing and stuff like that is just so cool. All of this is NPM, you know, which is really, really cool. But like, oh boy, what does NPM stand for? Houdini npm npm overview. Let's see. npm stands for Material Point Method. There you go. An extension of the flip solver to solve solid mechanics. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The thing that I like about npm is that one, it's super easy, similar to the way the paradigm stuff works. So let's turn off paradigm, or let's do an npm solver, and then what is this? That is our container. So we need an npm. Let's do a npm configure. There we go. Should automatically set everything up for us. Oh boy, come on. Do. Come on. All right. I think it froze for a second. It's probably because I'm on. I know, it is insane. It's absolutely insane. All right, close. That's fine. And I crashed Houdini. So yeah, here we are, and we have crashed Houdini. Let's go ahead and start it back up. The thing that I like about npm is that it's super easy to mix like different viscosities and different stuff, and they've also got like templates for it as well, you know. What's up, rock and roll cowboy? Yeah, let's see. All right, so we'll create a geo container. And then in here we'll do an npm configure. Yeah. So that automatically creates everything. That creates a container, that creates a collider, which is the box up here, and then you've got the sphere, which is the source. So like if we hit play, it'll stop for a second, it'll chew through, and then it's going to start going. And it's actually surprisingly pretty quick once it starts going. Once it starts going. Do. So Anthony, have you been playing around with Houdini? You bought your license. Are you doing a lot in it? Going back through Mark's course. The thing is, like, there's like with Houdini, it's like, you know, the steps to learn things I feel like are a lot bigger, you know, but once you kind of get your head around the workflows, it's pretty easy to understand. And I think I said this last week, or maybe I was telling you, Anthony, that like, I don't know like fire and smoke and RBD stuff, you know, like I don't know that. And you don't necessarily need to, you know, to mess around in Houdini. Like there's so many other things, like Vellum's super easy to do, you know, which is like cloth stuff. And then you've got pop particles. Particles are really easy. NPM is really easy. If it would actually like play, I don't understand why this is happening. Solving, compiling, OpenCL kernel. I don't know what that is. I mean, I still do wish I knew more, you know, but I feel pretty comfortable hopping into someone's project. There we go. Okay, so now that it's compiled, like you can see, so right now the source of the sphere Denise nodes, although overpopulated. Produce graphs look way simple. Connections, only a linear branching, unlike C40 blenders. Nodes, although overpopulated, their produced graphs look very simple. Linear branching, like C40s or blenders. Very limited input. Yeah, I think so. So if you look at the npm source, you've got these presets. Like this one is chunky. Let's change it to liquid, right? And we'll start it over. It's probably gonna chew for a second. I don't have the most powerful graphics card in here right now. So like I was showing earlier, the stuff we were doing in Paradigm is way easier than and like starts up almost immediately. Oh man. Mark's course again, but January. Oh yeah. I hope your cat's okay. That sucks. I want a new cat. We lost our cat a couple of years ago, and I don't know. I got that itch. See, so now we're liquid. That's pretty good. So, let's see. Let's stop this or do our npm source. Npm source, that's the container. But then we can do, I think we can do a second npm source. So like, for example, we'll do this. And then let's move this one up, right? Whoops, not that way. Like that. There we go. And I think we can merge the two. And then this source is going to be, we'll do one as liquid and one as chunky, right? So then they'll actually mix together. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, you know, it's the thing that I've struggled with forever. It's like, that's why I really like the Mograph Hangouts, because it gives me a chance to just like do stuff and mess around and stuff like that. Oh, thank you. Furnace Churchman FL whatever. Ugh. I hate chatbots. It's like I don't know why I broadcast to Twitch, because the only people who ever show up on Twitch are the chatbots who are like, buy things and stuff like that. So yeah, now you can see we've got some liquid and some chunky and stuff like that. It's pretty rad. I really like npm. So, but it is not as fast as Paradigm. All right, so Paradigm solver, Paradigm. Let's do a source shape. And this is going to be a plane. This is collision. So we'll go source shapes. Here we're going to do a sphere. Sphere. Anthony, I need to hit up Silverman again and see if he wants to come on the show again. I need guests. Scatter. And he's always fun to talk to. All right, source particle, blah, blah. Let's do that. That's good. All right, and then on our sphere, we wanted to do a transform. Throw that in there. And then our transform, we're going to do our motion effects, and we're going to do some noise. So do that. That's cool. Did I do that on the... I think I did it on the position. No, that's the rotation. Weird. Move, centroid pivot. There we go. Let's go back into our motion effects, see if we can increase that. I don't remember how to bring the thing back up. No, I have no idea. Noise. Amplitude. 15. Let's do 100. Yeah, outside as a cookie, inside as like crumble. So basically, yeah, in npm, you would just do two sources. So like, let's do like a cylinder. See why cylinder? What is it? Oh my gosh, how do you spell cylinder? environment file, geometry, polygons, tube. It's called a tube. That's right. All right, and then where are our table constraints? No, can't remember where the caps are. Back face removal. No. Nope. Shading. Velocity, dicing, disable geometry. It would be under geometry, right? Point scale, miscellaneous. Ugh. There's a like poly close or something like that. Let's see. Poly. Wait, what? Oh, I'm stupid. Jeez. All right, so I didn't know I was in object level. Tube. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Okay, tube, end caps. I was like, what is going on? All right, so you would take your height here, right? And then we'll just duplicate this 3 times. Transform. And this will be top cookie, middle cookie, bottom cookie, right? So we'll take those 3. And then this we will translate up a bit. And then make it just a little bit bigger. This one we will translate down a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger, right? And then in your npm configure, let's hope it doesn't crash on us. Give it a second. Okay, cool. So then you've got 2 sources, right? So you'll do an npm source here, an npm source here. And you can merge your top cookie and your bottom cookie. And then this one just goes in there. This one goes in here. And these 2 get merged together. So basically you're creating 2 npm sources, right? And then this source here, let's see, did I do that right? Do bottom one. Oh, do I need to do it merge? Yeah, into an npm source. I don't know why that's not seeing that. What's up, Nami? Floors automatically assume. You don't have to manually create. I'm pushing it. Set friction attributes to it. With this, no. I believe the npm solver has a ground plane set into it. Oh no, the box is the collider. It doesn't have the floor, I guess. Maybe it does. Collision. Ground plane, yeah. So if I unclick that, it'll keep going forever. And then the ground plane is there. You can tell because it's that little box. The box is this collider. I'm stupid. Yeah. Let's see. Do I need to create a separate one for each one? Does it not take a merge? Let's see about that. All right, so get rid of this. Bring this over here. We'll bring this over here. This is our cream. This is a cookie. This is a cookie. This goes in as well. And then in this. Oh yeah. Okay, so you can see the 3 things. And then in our npm solver, why is it only doing 1? This one we want chunky. This one we want chunky. And this one, let's do like viscousy or something. I don't know why it's not seeing all 3. Over timescale, continuation, surface tension. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's probably because they are outside of the ground plane, if I had to guess. Can we use npm to break up a nice looking shaded model? If you would have to shave the million little points to get the cookie look. would be nice. That breaks up to a mesh based off points. I believe so, yeah. You know what? Let's do this really quick. Transform our merge. Let's bring this up. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? How's my sphere? Oh, I'm like, why is that sphere still there? That is my PM source. Nope. There we go. Why is the box using adaptive meshing? Does the NPM automatically mesh things like that for best collision detection? Maybe? I don't know the answer to that. That question might be a little outside of my expertise. Let's do this merge. npm source 1, npm source 2. Let me do something real quick so that I can actually see these. Oops. See what happens if I hit play right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, now that everything, it's because I was not in the correct spot. All right, there we go. That's that. And then this one up here, that's top cookie, right? And so we've got different viscosities and stuff like that. So now if we do this and we just hit play, you can see some of them are breaking up, but you would really have to like adjust them and stuff. I love that I've still got the things. You would need to adjust your individual settings for the npm sources, but the fact that like all three of them are together and they've got different things, you know. So let's do oh no, there's a preset. Yeah, there we go. We'll just do concrete, right? Concrete for both the top and the bottom. Concrete, and then this one we'll do like let's do snow, right? Or no, let's do jello. All right, and see what that does. That's going a lot slower. I think concrete actually is like, so I think it should hit it and then, well, it was supposed to hit it and then smush out the bits. Oh my god, I gotta turn off the paradigm stuff. Hold on. There we go. All right. It didn't work very well. Let's see if we can change that. Oh, elastic. Let's do like viscous on our preset. Jello. Maybe we don't want jello. Let's do snow. And on that, let's do viscous. Maybe. Let's see what that does. What do you love most about Houdini, and what about C4D, and what do you wish for each other had or you don't use in C4D? There we go. All right, so you can see it kind of smushed it a little bit. I think yeah, I don't know why it's not like smushing it out. Maybe because our balls or whatever are a little too big. What do I like most about Houdini? I like, so what I've always thought is complicated things in Houdini are pretty easy, while complicated things in C4D are very complicated. Meanwhile, easy things in C4D are kind of complicated in Houdini, you know? And it's like, it's okay. But the thing is, once you get it working, the fact that you can work with like attributes and like choose very specific things and drive things by other things, like that is crazy cool about Houdini. Versus like C4D, are kind of like stuck in the box and with just, you know, whatchamacallit, you're stuck with kind of the base of everything and, you know, fields and stuff like that. And there's only so far you can get with that. And I feel like their all their VFX stuff, like smoke and fire and, you know, destruction and stuff, it doesn't match what Houdini does. Simple things are C4D. Simple things for C4D are complicated in Houdini. So, like, for example, being able to now, I've got mops plus, you know, and so like doing stuff like that. Here, let's do this. So, for example, in Houdini, in C4D, if I wanted to just create a grid of cubes, and then make them like move, I could do that in probably like maybe 5 or 6 clicks, right? Using fields and using cloners and stuff like that. With Houdini, it's like, okay, so I've got to create, well, first I've got to create a geo container that it goes into. Then I create a grid, right? And then I've got to make sure that the grid is what I want. So if I want to do like 100 by 100, right? And then I've got to do a scatter, and then you scatter points onto the individual count per primitive. Is it? No, not count per primitive. What is it? I don't want it. No, okay. The grid already has points on it. That's right. Square, not square, cube. So I do a cube, and then I do a copy to points, right? So this is the geometry to copy. These are the points that I want to do. So we've got all of those. Do this. Then if I want to scale it down, I have to do a transform, put a transform node in there, you know, scale it down like this and stuff like that. Okay, so now I have my grid of cubes, but as far as like making them move and stuff like that, there's a lot more steps to that, but I actually don't know those steps. That's why I use mops, which mops is not made by side effects. It's made by Toadstorm, which I'm really excited. I was chatting with him on online today, and he's gonna come on the show, which is super cool. So like mops, for example, you do a mops instancer and throw that in here, and then you do this and the distribution. So it's like all these things that are pretty easy in C4D. Nope, not that way. Is relatively, you know, time consuming or whatever in Houdini. So like there we've got a grid. But here's what's cool. So let's do a mops noise modifier. I think it goes before. I can never remember if it goes before or after, right? Okay. So yeah, now we've got a noise. Let's make sure we're going in actual real time. Our noise, where is the animated noise? Uniform, time varying. There we go, time varying. So now we've got an animated noise. And that was just a couple of nodes. That was like 2 nodes. That's why I think mops is pretty awesome. And it's free for just like the basic stuff. And then mops plus gives you a whole bunch of extra things. You know, I really like mops. Mops is, if you're coming from C4D and you're very used to using cloners and stuff like that, mops is a must-have. But also, I actually created a solo button. I had Claude help me code a solo button because I missed having a solo button like in C4D where I could just highlight a node, hit solo, and then turn it off so I could just look at that. Yeah. Yeah, basically. Basically. Plus, I really like in C4D. I really like the way, like, you've got generators and you've got modifiers and stuff like that, and I really like the way that they interact with each other, and things. Oh, you know what? So okay, copy to points. If I did that, then I think I can do. Let's do a mops noise modifier and see if this actually works on the grid. Haha, it does. Like, okay, so there we go. See, this is also awesome. So, like, we created the grid, and then we did a noise modifier on it, and I don't know why the time varying isn't working. Oh, there we go. See, now we basically did the same thing. This is also why I like mops. We could still use the old way, and we can use the mops noise modifier in order to change it a bit. Let's see, amplitude. There we go. So like now we've got cool little wavy things, right? Which is pretty rad. And that's free, I did a live stream a couple weeks ago where I was showing off a lot of like the growth effects and stuff like that, and like being able to reveal things using mops, and it was pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize you could do that, and that just kind of blew my mind. Messy. Instead of curl, let's do a purlin. See? Here we go. I like mops. Yeah, Anthony, you should get mops. If you're still watching. Whew. What else can we do in mops? Mops, modifiers, delay, move along mesh, move along spine. See, like some of those things have a collection of built-in noises like C4D or some kind of shader editor. So yeah, like the noise type, you've got these different types. If you're using Redshift or Octane, actually, for materials, they've got C4D shaders in that, Yeah, the reveal one, that one's pretty cool. Let me see if I can bring it up. I've already forgotten how to do it. Smooth Mograph. Oh, look, Mograph is live right now. Which one is it? It was... where is it? It's not that one. Was it the 15th? Oh boy. No, it definitely was not that one. I need to delete those. Where are all my videos? This is weird. January 8th? Nope, that's when we were doing that stuff. So it's got to be January 8th. Huh. One of them. Oh, here it is. November 20th. So November 20th, we were showing off how to use mops in order to like do some like revealing stuff, which is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Recommend go check that out. So yeah. I've been begging Maxon for a Gabor noise that resembles sand dunes and zebra stripe. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Sound modifier like sound-based drivers. Think Clint's new challenge. Oh, is that out? Clinton Jones. Oh, he's got a Wiki. Oh no, that's Punisher. Let's see. It's original Discord. Where is he? What's his website? createwithclint.com. Oh, concert visual challenge. Is that what it is? Dream Essence. Ah, okay. 24 days. New 3D challenge. What's up? I'm Clint. And I create cool stuff. And I'm in Blender. Okay. Alright, so we're just doing concert visual stuff. Neat. That's fun. I wonder if there's a sound modifier in here. Don't see audio fall off. There you go, maybe. What does the audio fall off do? Audio file, and so then that sets the fall off. And so, okay, so the fall offs create fall offs, for example. Right. Let's do a fall off. Let's see. A plane fall off. We'll throw that on here, right? No, I want a shape fall off. Then this uses the mob's fall off. I think I want a shape fall off. I can't ever remember whether it's one after the other. Let's see, linear. Pipe that in. There we go. Okay. So now you can see our shape fall off. So that's similar to like fields and stuff like that in cinema, is your shape fall off. So you could use a sound fall off, and that would become your fall off, and then you can use one of the modifiers in order to adjust that. Yeah, so any of your fall offs, so we'll do the sound fall off, or what is it? Audio fall off. So audio fall off, I don't think I have any audio stuff in here. Let's see. Anything? I don't think I have any audio. Oh boy, that's an MP4. Gibson song wave. All right, I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure that's my kid talking. Right, okay, so yeah, you can see he's talking, and so it's creating the noise, which is the Perlin noise, you know, so if we were to jack it up a whole bunch, you know, similar to what C4D has, yeah. For frequency and amplitude, I don't know. Let's see. So extend left, extend right, no change. Trim, shift, enable trim, enable shift. Sound particle modifier. Yeah. I mean, you could use these fall offs, like an audio fall off, to drive your particles, at least the emissions and other stuff, maybe? I don't know. Here's your bands. Turn that off. Frequencies. Okay, so you can cut off your frequencies. There you go. Amplitude and options. Enable envelope. There you go. So you can do that. Enable trigger. Yeah. So that's pretty fun. I wonder what that audio is. I'm sure it's my kid talking, but that's fun. Huh. Okay. What could we do for Clint's competition using that? So we can do, instead of doing like a noise modifier, see, nothing happens because basically what the fall off is doing is it's creating a fall off attribute, you know? So then once you do a mops modifier, the modifier reads the fall off attribute. So let's do a randomize move along mesh. So if we did a randomize, no, I don't see that actually doing anything. Oh, randomize position. So minimum and maximum. Here we go. So like, if we just want it on the Y, I mean, it's pretty insane, but that's fun. Or we could do, let's turn off the randomized position, do randomize orientation. So then they're like, choo, choo, choo. That's cool. Oh, ooh. Yeah, that's mops. Mops is great. I like mops. Sound particle modifier. Let's see. Let's do some pop network. Maybe it's not a pop network. What is it? Oh boy. That's right. I'm just letting things go. Pop. I think it is a pop network. No, it's a Vellum. Vellum solver. So that's our required geometry. That's a constraint. Let's see. Required Vellum geometry. I forget how to do this. See, it's like that's one thing with Houdini. I guess it's with a lot of stuff. It's like if you're not using the tools every single day to play around with it or something, you'll kind of forget. Let's see. Vellum source? Nope. Vellum can solver. Clint was very restrictive about AI. You can't make as an individual everything by yourself. At least AI textures should be allowed. I don't think the competition is very fair. Yeah, there's a lot of like really good AI stuff. What's up, Chris? I wanted this week to try and mess around with like, there's a new Comfy UI. Let's see, Comfy UI Houdini bridge. Let's see, this one, which is pretty cool, like being able to bring in Comfy UI stuff into Houdini using cops, which is pretty cool, and I had an idea. It's like, okay, so what if I'm in Octane. Let's see, do Octane. Oh, I need my Octane stuff. Hold on. Let's do Octane render setup. And then I need a camera. Right. Go to camera. We'll lock that. All right. So say for example, I'm in Houdini, or I'm in Octane, and I do this. This is my next plugin that I want to do. All right. I want to be able to go through and like texture it, light it, make it look good, right? I'm calling this the Milstead render, so I take basically a start frame, and I store that into cops, and then I take an end frame, store that into cops, and then I hit go, and what it does is it renders out like a wireframe of what the animation looks like, and then does a style transfer based off of what my original first frame and my original last frame looked like, in order to just like negate having to render it all, you know? So that's something I want to look into. Yeah, I mean, we use AI for a lot of concepting and stuff, and then some compositing tools and stuff. Like today, I was, you know, I had to do some. I don't even know what I'm allowed. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about any of that. I was doing, like, I was generating stuff to be able to use in compositing, you know, and to composite stuff in, which is pretty awesome. Do 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 do. Let's get our. All right. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to Paradigm. See what we can do in there. Yeah, people are going to use AI. The thing is, like, it's gotten really good. It's gotten really, really good. And there are times in which, you know, you just basically kind of have to make that decision. Is this good enough? Is the client going to care? You know, if the client doesn't care and you can generate something that looks really good and you won't be able to tell, you know, it's like, I don't see an issue with it, you know? I think the biggest issue with AI right now, other than like the electricity use, I think the electricity use really sucks, you know, because there's going to be so much of it. But we're in like a big AI bubble right now, you know? We're in an AI bubble, and you can see it with, like, check this out. Like, I use Higgs field a lot. It's an AI video generator. Hopefully it doesn't log me in. Yeah, and it is probably the ugliest site I've ever seen in my life for video generation and stuff like that. Like, it is so just god awful, right? But then, here, let me go to our sponsor real quick. Hey, I would like to thank our sponsor, Otoy, for sponsoring the show, our universal sponsor. You know him, you love him. The makers of Octane Render and the Render Network. With Octane Render, you can create super photorealistic renders. And for those renders that need a little extra push power, the Render Network has you covered. You can render your Octane Redshift and Blender Cycle frames in a fraction of the time and a fraction of the cost of other cloud rendering services. So give them a try today. I did that all off the top of my head. Canvas.otoy. Let me get into this. Sorry, bear with me. Oh. Authorize. It's weird that I have to authorize that multiple times. All right, let's do create workflow. Okay, so coming back to our screen, right? So this is Canvas. Canvas is Otoy's big thing, you know? So you've got Higgs field, which is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life, you know? And it's not clear. Like, none of this stuff is clear. It's like, okay, I want to generate an image. I want to generate video. Oh, look, there's so many options to generate video. But then you come in here and it's like, okay, I change. And you've got all these templates and stuff like that. It's like, who's going to do fire lava or like splash transition or something like that? It's like, it's so bad. But then you've got Canvas, which is really pretty. And if you're used to working in a node-based system, like, this is really nice. So, like, here's a prompt. Let's say, giraffe, right? We're just gonna say giraffe, and then now let's give it a little bit more detail. Actually, we could do this. Now let's do giraffe. Eating leaves off of a tree in the style of who did the really hungry caterpillar? Eric Carl. All right, so then we do an image generation, generate. We'll do a flux one, right? Do that, and then we will hit go, right? Then it generates. And this is like, okay, so then if I want to use this generation that I did into I haven't. CODBot, everyone is, my brother keeps on being like, dude, you need to get CODBot or CloudBot or whatever, you know. I was like, I don't have time to mess around it. Also, I've seen some of the stuff like CloudBot will let you just completely take over your machine and stuff like that. That's crazy, you know. I haven't tried anti-gravity. I don't even know what anti-gravity is. Make a smoke emitter, pump smoke to the sound and change color according to frequency. Oh. Yeah, maybe I'll try that in a second. So like prompt, okay, now if I want to turn that into a video, it's like, okay, video, generate video. Let's use Kling, image to video, right? And then we'll use the same prompt. And it's like, okay, now we hit go. We're good. We're generating. And it's like, this is all just one workflow. And I can reference other things. And like with Higgsfield, it's like, okay, now I have to download the stuff that I've generated and whatever. Weavy has a lot of similar stuff as well. And one thing I really like about Weavy is that you can bring in your own LLMs or VLMs and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Bots on a separate machine. It's analyzing the E files. Oh, oh boy. Yeah, CloudBot. Wasn't CloudBot that Reddit mirror that has AI agents instead of human users? I don't know. Better to analyze the X files. Seriously, right? That's funny. So, and they're using the render network in order to do all this stuff, which is cool. So, you know, the people getting paid are just like other artists like you and me and stuff. Canvas is like Comfy UI. Yeah, it's a lot like Comfy UI. So, and what's nice is it's using credits. I don't know how many credits I have. I've used my free credits today. So it's probably going to fail. Oh no, it's actually using my Otoy balance right now. Caught one of the Kinetic Rush submissions that was heavy on Gen AI. After it got put in the top 100. Just went with a bit more of a broader ban after that. Is that for music? Kinetic Rush submissions? What's Kinetic Rush? Kinetic Rush. Oh, gotcha. It was heavy on the AI. Gotcha for Clint's thing. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think that disregards the using AI for stuff like this. I think disregards the spirit of the competition, you know, where it's like, we want you to create something original and stuff like that. Like AI textures, I am totally fine with. I think that's great, you know. I am all for generating AI textures. I'm even for generating AI like geometry and stuff like that, you know. And it's like, I think that's okay, but when it comes to like, if you're just generating the video, it's like, that's not great, you know. So this is still generating. EJ was just texting me. Let's see what he said. Horse podcast. Nice job pulling them all together. Yeah, seriously. On the show next week. Asking EJ if he wants to be on the show. Oh, there we go. I don't know if this is really in the style of Eric Carl, but there you go. What's cool about it is it looks stupid. But, you know, I was able to generate it, you know, using nodes and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so if I want to jump off of this, and like this was one of my suggestions to them, image tools is to, what is it? Freeze frame? No, video tools. Extract video frame. So it's like, then I can use whatever frame I want, you know? So it's like, okay, I like this frame. I want to work off of this frame, you know? It's pretty cool. 236 in the top 100. Oh, that's the one. Let's see. What are you doing? Want to show me retro game design? Sorry. Getting new guess. Sorry, y'all. Sport 360 HDRI panorama generations like Skybox Labs. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. Is it image generation? So let me go back to our sponsor real quick. Beta.otoy.ai. Get started. So image generation. Here's another cool thing. This is on the beta.otoy.ai. So Canvas is something different from it, but I've been suggesting to them that they allow you to be able to sorry. Suggesting being able to bring in your beta stuff as well, because there's so many different things. Basically. So like your model for image generation, you've got all the different models and stuff like that, which is freaking fantastic. So almost anything you can think of is on here, you know, and then same for image to image, you know, you've got all of these ones as well. Let's do text to video. You've got all of these different models, and it's pretty cool. That one probably has it, but I have y'all tried out? So we're showing here how they're using it. Have y'all tried out World Labs? World Labs is pretty awesome. Let me go back to our sponsor while I log in. Create with World Labs. Create. Sign in with Google. Bear with me. Well, special thanks to our sponsor, Otoy. Create. Okay. So, Hangouts. So, check this out. So, what World Labs is, it's basically you can take an image, for example, like, so this one, they took an image and it creates a splat from it. So, like, you can then export out that splat and bring it into Houdini and Octane and relight it and do whatever you want with it. It's pretty awesome. Also, I haven't found a texture generator you can produce the bottom side of a mushrooms. Oh boy. I don't know what you're... Maybe it's just my mind. But, yeah. Record footage, studio, reuse prompt. It's like, okay, let's create something. All right, so let's do a gross interior of a dude sitting at his computer podcasting with a bunch of trash all around. All right, so we will go ahead and hit create, and then we'll create that world. Yeah, and then I'll let that go. Just got on the beta for Render Network Afterburner file upload. Oh, awesome. This thing I needed to move away from C40 completely. That's awesome. That's so great. Yeah. I really enjoy the Render Network. It's nice. it's just like it's so convenient. And I don't know if y'all have seen this. Chris, are you talking about the API stuff, like the render network? It's not the wizard. It's the render network. It's the gosh, what is it? It's not the C40 render network wizard. It's the render render foundation app. What is that? I can't. Download manager? Yeah. The render network download manager. This thing's awesome. So I've been using this. You can download the network manager and it will allow you, differential uploading. Yep. The differential uploading, I believe, is only for Octane standalone as of right now. I could be wrong on that. They may have updated some things, but like it's so killer because here, I'll just go ahead and do this. Like the network download manager app, it's its own app. You don't have to go to the website anymore and upload. If you submit like a request in order to get API access, you can upload, download, and submit all your job stuff directly from the app. It's so awesome. Man, to upload Octane Blender files. Oh, interesting. That's weird. I didn't. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. You know, Octane and Blender. Like, so are you uploading Blender files? Are you uploading blend files that are Octane, or are you exporting them out to Orbix? That's interesting. Because I didn't know they were doing like a exporting. You're submitting Blender files. I'm assuming that's what that means. Just Blender files. That's awesome. I didn't know you could do that. That's cool. Has been deep in it. That's super rad. That's really good. Now I just need them to get on Houdini. Like the Houdini one that I did. Let's see. Like, for example, cube. This is my Octane. No, it's Orbix exporter. So I created this Orbix exporter that'll allow you to pipe in whatever you want into this Orbix exporter and then export like a frame range and batch it out if you want. Now, I've also done additional things to it since this last week, adding in a whole bunch of other things like chunking and like being able to combine them after the fact and stuff like that. Really exciting. Like, I was really excited about the Orbix exporter that I made because it makes it to where you don't have to go into your Octane ROP and where is it? Export Orbic and Alembic files. It's like, no, I just want to take all my geometry stuff, throw it into my Orbix exporter and hit export Orbix. It's pretty cool. I'm sure I do, you know, and I've been, so Dom, one of the Houdini Octane guys, he's fantastic. I can't speak highly enough about them. And I will say, like, the Houdini Octane channel in the Houdini or in the Octane Discord is probably the most active out of every single channel there, which is really, I really like that, you know? And so, like, he's been fantastic. Like, I introduced myself a couple of weeks ago, or like a month ago, and him and I have been constantly talking all day. He helped me develop this Orbix exporter that I was working on. I couldn't get Claude. Like, here's the thing that I hate about like Claude or ChatGPT. Eventually they're just like, oh no, you can't do that. And I'm like, yes, I 100% know you can do that. It's just like the syntax or whatever that you're typing out in your code is wrong. It's like, you don't know enough about this API, because Octane specifically is Lua scripting, which I had never heard about until, this. But it's Lua scripting. And so you got to know that syntax and how it works and stuff like that. And so like with this, I'm specifically here. I'll actually show you all the, let's see, type properties. So I've got all this, I've got all of this Python script, and then within the Python script, actually, this one isn't it, because I've got the thing inside the Python script. I've got all this Lua script that's going to run as well in order to like, combine all the things. So, but Dom's been great, man. Honestly, the Houdini guys over there are fantastic. I'm really, really happy. I hope that they continue doing good things, and I hope Houdini becomes more of a focus for them, because I can see here's I don't know. I feel like you're going to have all the new kids coming up are either going to hop into Blender, Octane support, volume displacement. Yeah. Volume displacement. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know how to do volume stuff in Houdini, but I know in C40 it totally does. Yeah. And it can also like, yeah, that's like a big thing that it's been able to do that for years. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So the new kids coming up, I feel like they're going to be, if they're going to dabble in 3D, they're going to dabble in Blender, and so you're going to have the amount of Blender users just absolutely explode because of that. Also because it's free, it's easy to get your hands on. Now you're going to have people who just want to become AI prompt engineers and, like are prompting all their stuff. And then I think the people who get into 3D or motion graphics or anything, if they want to do some of those special effects stuff, they're not going to go to C4D. They're going to go to Houdini, So I've been saying for years, I think a Houdini Blender pipeline is like the perfect thing, Yeah. Let's see. Let's look that up. Silverwing, wing, volume displacement. Handling volume displacement in Octane. Yeah, he's got a really good one. Oh, thank you for giving me commercials. Skip. Shout out to Silverwing. He's amazing. Creating a 3D, understanding diagonal displacement. Nope. There you go. So yeah, cool stuff like that. You should check it out. That's on Silverwing's stuff. Hey, look, Mograph is live right now. But yeah, I really think I think Houdini Blender pipeline is where it's at. And then mixed in there, you're going to have a bunch of like AI compositing stuff, like being able to, it's like, okay, I need this element or something, and it'd be that much easier to do AI. Let's just do that, Yeah. Volume displacement, a renderer thing, not the volume pyro simulator. No. So it is it's a renderer specific thing with Octane. Because you can go through, you can create like a volume. You could create a volume in C4D, and then, or in Houdini, and you can use Octane in order to displace it and stuff like that. It's pretty rad. And, you can render out a lower res version of a VDB, and then use the Octane volume displacement, and it will give it a bit more detail, which is cool. Houdini can effects with actual metahuman interaction with UE shows the strength of Houdini. Yeah, seriously. I don't know about Unreal Engine Houdini pipelines. Anthony, I spent about a year in Unreal Engine, just doing like, Mograph animations and bringing stuff over from C4D and stuff like that. I've never messed with Houdini and Unreal. I don't know how good like RBD or Pyro or Vellum or anything like that would come into Unreal. Yeah. Metahumans rig taken in and out of Unreal Engine. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm getting sleepy. Oh, I love these live streams. I really do. Like, it's just like, it's great having, I want to thank y'all for coming into the chat and like hanging out. Like, it really, I don't know. I appreciate the chat is active, It's really nice to have people in here just like being able to shoot the shit with stuff like that. Oh, we're just watching Silverwings stuff. All right, so let's do this. Did it create yet? Estimated 6 minutes. Nope, it's still working. So that's the thing with World Labs. World Labs. Oh, my world is generated. All right, so there we go. This apparently is my podcast studio. It looks like a hot dog on the ground, but it's basically created a splat, and then you can take that splat into Houdini or whatever. What are we watching? That's weird. I can't wait for the splats to become like super detailed. That would be rad. Kidding. It was just slop. It's all just slop. Ooh, that's fun. So weird. Like from a distance, that looks pretty cool, If you're creeping out the window. Doesn't look too bad, but yeah. Unreal Engine equals no sleep. I still despise Unreal Engine. I mean, I get it. Unreal, the thing is, like, the promises we were made with Unreal was like, all right, you're going to have real-time rendering. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm very excited about real-time rendering. But then as the more you start to throw at it, you're just like, this isn't real time. And then, okay, I'm going to render 8K. And it's like, okay, so now it takes me 2 to 3 seconds per frame to render. And it's like, all right, well, I just spent all the time bringing stuff over from C4D or Houdini into my scene and then texturing it and lighting it and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so now it's not real time anymore. And it's just like, blah. I don't know. Need a splat uprise, right? Yeah. Topaz for splat. Well, here's the thing. So, okay. Let's see. Do y'all know Magnific AI? So Magnific AI, this is what Beeple uses. He takes, like, he'll take his render, just like a really crappy version of his render, take it into Magnific AI, and then type in what his prompt or what his art piece is supposed to be, and then it'll add things in there, and then he'll take that, put it on top of his original render, and then just Photoshop in or out what he wants. And so you get these super detailed things. Now, what I've seen other people do, especially with up-resing stuff, is really cool. It's like, so you go to Nano Banana, you take your low-res thing, and you say, don't change anything, just make this higher res, and it will work. It's pretty insane. Do we use volumetric materials nowadays, or is it considered useless or old tech? Volumetric materials? I don't think I even know what volumetric materials are. Are those splats? I wonder how it would work if it was GPU and multi-threaded. I don't remember Bryce 3D. But yeah, This one's pretty cool. I mean, I like the detail that it adds. It adds all the wrinkles and imperfections and sweaty head and stuff like that. See, I like the hair before. You know, I think the hair before looks better. Let's see. Before, after. That one looks better after. Yeah. But this one cleared up his skin. Right? This one made her skin more prominent. This dude. Man. I do like Magnific. Magnific was one of the first ones that I was introduced to, you know, other than like Mid-Journey. But it's cool. Like one thing I like about Magnific is so like say you get some really low resolution textures from like, you know, you're downloading something and you get some low resolution textures, you can throw it into Magnific AI and it'll add more detail to it, and then you can bring those textures back into your software. It's pretty cool. So like say your diffuse is really, you know, really low res, you can bring that into Magnific, up res it, but you can still use your old normal maps and your old bump maps and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. All these real-time guys think they absolutely own the planet, but they can't even hold a candle to my offline render. Yeah, because that's true, Chris, because you're using the render network and you're sending 8,000 volumetric things all at once and you're not worrying about it. You're like, here you go. You guys handle it. Oh, that's funny. What's up? How's it going? No, that's not Zipper. Maxime, right? How's Montreal? Montreal? I think it's Montreal. Or is it Vancouver? I can't remember. I always forget. I always want to say Vancouver because I feel like you'd be up at a normal time. Wrapping up 2 projects tonight. Man. That's one thing that I have enjoyed about having a full-time job now. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, Montreal. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Is like not having to work the late nights and stuff like that. I really, really enjoy having a full-time job and like a boss who like understands work-life balance and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, we're cool. Like we're off. I don't even think about work afterwards. You know, it's pretty fantastic. Real-time graphics have come a long way. There are things I'm jealous I could have in C40, and that you render. Oh man, well, that's a name. That's something I haven't heard in a while. You render. I forgot about you render. And then remember they changed it to Tachyon render. I really liked that name. Tachyon render was great. Yeah, but that one was all like, so some of the Octane stuff that we talked to Jules about, you know, months ago, was that in 2027 it was coming, the real-time rendering and stuff like that, which is cool. 9 to 5 never been for me. I start my way around noon. Yeah, see, that's the thing though. Like, Maxime, do you have kids? You know, like I was never freelance when I wasn't married. You know, it wasn't until like maybe 5 years into my marriage before I went freelance, you know, or started my own company with Dave. And it was like, and so like I've always had kids and always had to get them off to school and stuff like that. So I've been so used to like getting up in the morning. So I'd wake up at 7. Like now I you know, while I was still freelance last year, it's like I'd wake up at 6:30, get my kids up, you know, get them off to school, and then I'd take a shower and be at my desk by 8 a.m., you know, and then work all through the night. You know, now it's like, yeah, I get up at 6, I get my kids ready for school, But when I'm off, like I get to work by 7:30, and I'm off by 4:30. It's like it's a 20-minute drive home. It's awesome. Like I don't think about it anymore. Missing regular income and stability of it. Yeah. I know. The stability's nice. It's nice. I will say I haven't had to stress too much, you know. I do have 3 car payments right now, which kind of sucks. But maybe not for long. We're looking at selling one of the cars. Don't have kids, but might come soon. Peer pressure is starting, but close to 30, and it's often the first question. Yeah, I get that. I was 30 when we had our first kid. Yeah, I had turned 30 and my wife was pregnant. So, and then we had a second one 6 years later, something like that. 7 years later. Yeah. So I was like, you know, I get it. You know, plus times is hard for a Mographer, you know? So, what's the weather up in Montreal right now? It's got to be cold. It's like 0 degrees, negative something. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look. Weather in Montreal. Temperature in Montreal. 6. Oh, that's not bad. 6 Celsius? Yeah. Let's see. 6 to Fahrenheit. What is that? 42? That's not bad. Hold on. What's the weather? It's 55 in Dallas right now. That's 12, you know. 12.7. So, that's not too bad. That's shorts weather. No, that's shorts weather. Yeah. All right. Yes. Oh, 6 Fahrenheit? Is it? Is that what it said? Let's see. Temperature in Montreal. Oh, 6 Fahrenheit. Whoops. Yeah, that's very cold. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, 6 Fahrenheit. That's quite a bit colder. Man, I don't know how you do it. I couldn't. We were in like the teens, you know, and 20s for like 5 or 6 days, and I could not do it. Like I couldn't leave my house because everything was ice. It was just like 3 inches of thick ice, and I was starting to get stir crazy, and it's like Texans, we don't have we're not prepared for it, you know. Like we got to run our water the whole time because if not the pipes will burst, and then I'm freaking out because like in Texas you don't winterize your pool. Like up north you'll winterize your pool, so you'll like bring the pool down to like below the, you know, the pipe level and stuff like that, and just leave it. Well, we don't do that, so like I've got to have the pump constantly running and worrying that the electricity is going to go out and everything's going to freeze, and it's just so stupid. So yeah, -6 or 6 degrees. That's very cold. -17 is very, very cold. So, but Montreal's a beautiful city. I love that city. It was one of my favorite stops here's the thing that I loved about Montreal while I was there. It was that the people were fantastic, you know? And so when we all went to like a big meetup afterwards, and I love that Canada is like, you know, they called America a melting pot, but Canada really is. It's like you've got people from all over the world coming and immigrating to Canada. And so what was so funny, it was like I was sitting at a table with like 3 other people, and like I was the only one who had English as their you know, primary language. We had a Brazilian who also spoke English, and you know, you had someone from Montreal who's you know, mainly spoke French but also spoke English, and then someone else, or maybe no, it was someone from France, who also spoke English. But it was so cool because it's like, there's so many different types of people there, and it was just fantastic. It was a very loving and welcoming city. I loved it. Oh yeah, we went to a couple of really good restaurants while we were up there. So I want to take my wife up there. Like, I love the architecture and stuff. It was so beautiful. It was really, really pretty. So, all right. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna try and get my kids to bed, but I appreciate everyone hanging out. Maxime, I'm glad you came into the chat. It's good to see you or hear from you. It's been a little bit, but yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for hanging out. If y'all have any suggestions for guests, I'd love to hear who you want to hear from. I'll get them. I don't know if we'll have a show. I hit EJ up. I was like, hey, you want to be on the show next week? We'll see what he says. I don't have a guest. I didn't have a show this week because I didn't have a guest, but it's like, I'm not going to stress about it, about having to have one every week. It's going to be fine. -58. Blah, that's awful. You know what? -40. That's the same Celsius and Fahrenheit. That's the magical number right there. So, but yeah, having fun. Beeple. I should have Beeple back on. I'll hit him up. I'll see what he's doing. Yeah, oh my god. All right, Chris. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for hanging out. Make sure sign up for your Mograph account, or don't. Just keep hanging out and having fun with us. So, all right. Later, y'all. See ya.
Pretty good, I guess.